What you want to say about the baby?
Good time, baby.
It was probably around like 6, and I got back to the house maybe around 7:15 because my girl and my daughter said they wanted some candy. Like she wanted some suckers and she wanted some cookies. And I had went to like three stores maybe in between those times to go get gas, Black Miles, and I had went and got some drinks, like some little Mad Dogs and stuff like that. Like she's friendly, like she doesn't like, it's not a stranger danger thing with her. It's not like get away from me. Like she didn't get that. She didn't understand it. She was just all friendly to everybody. She was very respectful. Like, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. Like I gave all of these detectives this information about people snooping around the house.
A gap of nearly 90 minutes never accounted for between when he says he got home and when the 911 call actually happened. A string of past tense sentences describing a child the entire country still believed was alive, who had in fact been dead for a month. And an anonymous suspect, almost word for word, the one his girlfriend used to build her own story. Today we go through every sentence, already knowing what the case file has confirmed. I'm Marcus Wren, creator of Tell Index, a 50-signal framework for analyzing statements and behavior in criminal cases. Today's video breaks down the phone interview Johmarea Harris, father of Javeayah Harris, gave to WRDW reporter Will. Hit subscribe if you want more analysis like this. This interview took place in the early days after Michelle Herring called 911 to report her 4-year-old daughter, Javeayah Harris, missing from the family's home in Aiken, South Carolina, on the night of June 30th, 2026. 9 days later, Sheriff Marty Sawyer confirmed Javeayah had been dead for at least a month. Per the warrant, the fatal injury occurred in early June. Both Johmarea Harris and Michelle Herring confessed to withholding medical care after learning the child had suffered a severe head injury caused by Herring. DNA later confirmed partial remains recovered from Cedar Creek Reservoir belonged to Javeayah. The interview below was recorded while the public, and likely the reporter himself, still believed the child was alive. The man answering these questions, by his own later confession, already knew otherwise.
And when I left and I went back to dry the clothes because I was watching them. I was sitting there for a little minute, then I ended up going to another store. Like these 3 stores that I'm saying, like I sold the 3 stores already, but I went to a store last. Gotcha. And then I was back at the washing machine that was right beside the Circle K. And then when I was at the Circle K, I was seeing a lot of police and stuff going through.
Johmarea recounts the afternoon with a chain of specific waypoints. Left home around 6 to 7, back around 7:15, 3 stores, back at the washing machine by the Circle K. But the actual 911 call didn't happen until 8:43 p.m., nearly 90 minutes after the 7:15 mark he gives as when he was already home. This is code C6, a multi-point activity chain that sounds verifiable on the surface, yet has no witness at any single stop. And the single largest gap in the whole account, 90 minutes, is exactly the stretch that leads directly into the false 911 call. The warrant itself confirms the fatal injury occurred in early June, not the night of June 30th, meaning this afternoon, recounted store by store, item by item, has nothing to do with Javeayah's actual death, which had already happened weeks earlier. Constructing a busy afternoon with multiple stops on the exact day a report had to be filed serves one purpose: filling the gap with detail so no one asks further about the unwitnessed window right before the call.
Like she's friendly, like she doesn't like, it's not a stranger danger thing with her. It's not like get away from me. Like she didn't get that. She didn't understand it. She was just all friendly to everybody. She was very respectful. Like, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. Like that's what she do. We raised her great. Like she was a real smart kid.
In under a minute, Johmarea repeatedly shifts to past tense, describing his daughter's personality. She was friendly. She was very respected. She was a real smart kid. On camera, while the public still believed Javeayah was missing. This is code A1. A grammatical tense leak reflecting the speaker's true state of awareness at the moment of speaking, especially likely in sentences describing personality or habits. since this is the least consciously controlled part of speech. This pattern has precedent in the Lily and Jack Sullivan case in Nova Scotia, where Daniel Martel used past tense for one of the two children just 4 days after they went missing. Here, the past tense isn't a possibility worth weighing. It's exactly what had happened. By his own later confession, Johmarea already knew his daughter had died weeks before this interview. His language unconsciously told the truth before the official confession ever did.
Understood. So you guys had no idea what could have happened, or?
I have no clue. Sir, I don't like, it's really wild, but I had gave all of these detectives this information about people snooping around the house lately, like since I've started work, like from Friday, well, Thursday really, but from Friday to Monday, I had to work. I was working night shifts, and every time I left, my girl would like, what she would tell me like, oh, it's been people doing this, and then the third around the house, they've been called, like they be on the phone with people like around the house, like just talking and walking real slow and things like that. And
asked point blank whether he has any idea what happened, Johmarea answers in broken fragments, "I have no clue, I don't," before pivoting immediately to a detail never mentioned before. He'd told detectives about people snooping around the house, talking on the phone, walking slowly around the property. This is Code A4, a substitute suspect introduced right after the most direct question in the entire interview. This detail is nearly identical to the crackheads wandering the path behind the house Mishala used in her 911 call. Two parents, on two different channels, reaching for the same vague, unnamed, unverifiable suspect. No warrant or court filing afterward ever mentions investigating any person snooping connected to this case, because there wasn't one. By both parents' own confessions, the cause of Javeayah's death came from inside that house, not from any stranger outside it.
That's what she do. We raised her great. Like, she was a real smart kid. That's why, like, they had me kind of like messed up, because they were saying that she was not, like, she's non-verbal and that. Like, yeah, she was saying she's autistic, and like that was like, the media was like messing. I don't want to cuss, but that was messing my head up a little bit, because they don't even have a good description of my child to try to describe her.
Asked about his daughter's autism status, Johmarea doesn't answer directly. He pivots to criticizing how the media described her as nonverbal. This is Code D5, redirecting toward a third party's coverage rather than answering the substance of the question. In the very next breath, he clarifies that Javeayah was said to be on the spectrum at birth, but had never been formally tested, meaning the family itself had no definitive answer to this question either. Blaming the media for an inaccurate description comes before his own admission of that same uncertainty, at a point when he already knew with certainty that his daughter was no longer alive for any description, accurate or not, to matter the way it would for an actual search for a living child. 6 weeks after this interview, both Johmarea and Mishala confessed. The fatal head injury was caused by Mishala, occurring in early June. Both knew and withheld medical care. The body was kept in the home for weeks before being disposed of with corrosive chemicals. The 4 signals just analyzed, a 90-minute gap with no witness, a tense leak that told the truth before the confession did, an anonymous suspect matching his girlfriend's own story, and evasion at the one direct question that mattered, are no longer possibilities to weigh. They are the linguistic residue of a man who already knew what the rest of the country would take 9 days to find out. A 90-minute gap with no witness, a string of past tense sentences that were accurate before the truth was ever announced, an anonymous suspect matching the mother's own story. Which of these 4 signals is clearest to you? Leave a comment below. I read all of them. Subscribe so you don't miss further analysis on this case.